The art of quilting has been around for centuries. It's the stitching together of layers of padding and fabric that can take days or even weeks to complete. One young woman from Oak Creek turned her passion for quilting into a business, adding her own twist. Kari Nakayama shares her story.
24-year-old Natalie Stremlaw spends hours and days on this special corner of her home, cutting, measuring, and sewing together a mash of t-shirts, creating custom quilts.
The most rewarding part for quilting is giving it to the customer and just seeing their reaction when they see it.
Her creations can take up to 18 days to complete because a lot of love and labor go into creating a special piece of quilt.
A lot of t-shirts require stuff to be ironed onto the back, so that's the time-consuming part because you have to iron on before you cut it. Otherwise, it makes a disaster.
Stremlaw began her quilting business, NRS Quilting, about a year ago and says she created about 50 custom-made quilts thus far.
People give me their t-shirts and I make it into something. And then I added embroidery options so I can have their names or their dates to make it more unique.
The idea to quilt t-shirts came from a personal experience when she herself wanted to make use of old t-shirts that had sentimental value to them.
I had a lot of shirts from my high school, college years that didn't fit me anymore, and they still had a lot of memories in them, so I wanted to make something out of them and not have to just throw them away because I thought if giving them away wouldn't mean anything to anybody else. So I thought about just making stuff for myself, and I started off with just making 2 quilts just to see if I could do it, since I've never done shirts before.
And that's how her business started. The 24-year-old stay-at-home mom says her business has taken off since then.
My daughter sleeps most of the day, so I do get quite bored. And this gives me something that I can do while I'm home.
But quilting is nothing new to Stremlaw. It's a skill she's been building up for the last 8 years. Her first encounter with quilting when she was just a young girl.
I learned how to quilt from a woman that watched me when I was younger, and she taught me a lot of hand techniques for hand quilting, along with some sewing machine things, but at the time I never had a sewing machine. So I was able to make a lot of like baby blankets and smaller quilts by hand.
And she says she picked it up fast as she's naturally an artsy and crafty person. Although the process could take days and weeks, she finds comfort and motivation knowing that her creations mean more to her customers.
I've had quite a few customers cry in my shoulder, so that meant a lot. It's like I put a lot of time into doing something for you and you really like it, so it's nice to feel that way.